Hey, good morning, grade 9. So, for our topic this time, it's all about consumption. When we say consumption, it refers to the use of goods and services by consumers in order to address their wants. So, in other words, we are consuming goods and services to attain the satisfaction for our needs and wants. Example of this, of course, if you are done playing basketball, so you are thirsty. What you have there, you consume a water. No? If you're also going to be outside the country for those malapit sa pole, so malamig, kailangan mo ng sweater or jacket. So of course, you're going to buy, consume a jacket for that. That's an example of consumption. When we say utility, or complete term for that is economic utility. A consumer uses a product because it provides utility. When we say utility, it refers to the usefulness or value that consumers experience from the product or service and can be judged based on the form, time, place, and possession. These factors helped in assessing the purchase decisions and the drivers behind those decisions. So, in other words, utility is a measure of happiness or satisfaction. From the word utility, there's what we call utils, no? Utils is the unit used to measure utility. Utils. Now let's discuss today about total utility and the marginal utility. When we say total utility, this is the total amount of satisfaction or pleasure a person derives from consuming some specific quantity of a good or service. When we say marginal utility, this is an extra amount of satisfaction a consumer realizes from an additional unit of the product, or the change in total utility that results from the consumption of one or more unit of product. For you to understand more, let's have an example of total utility. Keyword for total utility is the overall benefit gained from consuming a good or service. Remember the unit to measure. This is utils. Let's example. Since it's almost 12 the noontime, so I will consume full 2 cups of rice. No? 2 cups of rice is the total utility. However, upon eating the 2 cup of rice, I just realized that there's something lacking on me. So I'll add another half cup of rice. So that half cup of rice, that's what we call marginal utility. When we say marginal utility, that is an extra amount of satisfaction that you consume. When I'm done with my 2.5 cup of rice, I realize that I still need more and more rice. So I decided to order again another cup of rice. That makes it 3 cups of rice anymore. As I consume and consume half cup of rice, probably 4-5 cup of rice, that another consumption or extra amount of consumption the consumer had is what we call marginal utility. There's what we call law of diminishing marginal utility. It states that as a consumer consumes more and more units of a specific commodity, utility from the successive units goes on diminishing. In other words, if you keep on eating the same food at the same time, the utility of that food is diminishing or decreasing. Again, when you say utility, used to measure utility, utils. So meaning, sa Tagalog, Kung ikaw ay uhaw at umiinom ka ng Coke, in the first picture here, first time that he drank the Coke, full utility. But the moment he added another Coke to his tummy, as you can see, nag-diminish. Moderately thirst, moderate marginal benefit. As he consumed the last part of the Coke, he's not thirsty and all. That means the successive units of drinking Coke goes on diminishing. Another example of law of diminishing marginal utility is the unli-rise of Mang Inasal or the buffet of fancy restaurants, which is tinatawag nila yung eat all you can promos in restaurants. The restaurant owners are banking the law of diminishing marginal utility, restrain the consumption of the customers. For example, ako, gusto kong, another example of this is consuming. When you say consume, it's either you're using, you're doing, you're eating. The moment I will eat, let's say, my sandwich, if I consume one sandwich, the utils there is probably 100 utils because that's my measurement of how satisfied I am. If I'm going to consume another sandwich, probably 80 utils. If I'm consuming the third sandwich, that would be probably 50 utils. So as you can see, as I consume a lot more and more sandwich, this diminishes the utility or the satisfaction of the person consuming it. Let's have this example. In your modules, utility schedule from sandwich consumption. Let's assume for sandwich, your total utils there is 10. So all in all, 10 yung total utility mo. And your marginal utility is 10 also. And the consumption of another sandwich, that makes your total utility 17. But as you consume another sandwich, the marginal utility goes to 7. As you can see, if the number of sandwich is increasing, in total utility, that's also increasing. But if we're going to add, the marginal utility will decrease. This applies the law of supply and demand. If the quantity of sandwich is increasing, the marginal utility perhaps will decrease. The more and the more you will consume food, the more it will diminish the utility. When you say utility maximization, from the word maximization, you're going to maximize. No? If only you have $25, what combination of movies and go-karts maximize your utility? So that's it. Probably you can watch movies 2 times, as you can see, first and second movie, Kaya Pa ng Bulsa, and go-karts 1 time. Example of utility maximization, if you have 50 pesos, what can you buy with your 50 pesos? Knowing that you're going to maximize your 50 pesos. Let's assume I have a juice worth of 5 pesos. A kutsinta worth of 10 pesos. So if that's the case, how many kutsinta can you consume together with the juice, which is 5 pesos? How many can you consume kutsinta and juice with the only given 50 pesos? So that's utility maximization. If possible, wala nang sukli. Because you're going to maximize the budget given. So see another example here. If you only have 500 pesos, what combination will maximize your utility? Or how much total utility will you get? So, in this case, I will present to you the getting of okay, let's assume here we have a problem. Okay, we have products such as burger times we have burger together with burger first. Okay, marginal total utility, marginal utility. Okay, times that you consume the burger, or how many burgers did you consume? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if the total utility is given, for example, the first time I ate burger, I had 50 utils. The second time I ate the burger, I gained 67 utils. Now, the third time I ate burger, I got 75 utils, 80 utils, and 95 utils. Now, that's the total utility. But when you say marginal utility, the addition or the diminishing factor, if you're going to consume more and more burger at the same time. Marginal utility. If the total utility is already given, how will you get the marginal utility? If in getting the marginal utility, you're just going to minus this one. Okay, we're going to minus 67 by 50. But first, since it's 50 here, we're all just going to copy it here. 50. Okay, how to get the marginal utility of 50 and 67? We're just going to minus 67 by 50. That makes it 17. And then after that one, you're going to minus 75 by 67. Makes it 14. And then you're going to minus 80 minus 75. That makes it 5. And another one, 95 minus 80. That makes it 5. So as you can see, the marginal utility there is decreasing. If it's decreasing, your computation is correct. Again, if the total utility is given and the marginal utility is not given, how will you get the marginal utility? You're just going to, for the first time that you're going to eat the burger, that's 50 utils, you're just going to copy the marginal utility. For the second time, you're just going to minus 67 by 50. That makes it 17. Another time, how do you get the 14? You're just going to minus 75 by 67, 14. Then 80 minus 75, 5. 95 minus 80, 5. That's the total utility of the burger being eaten, okay? Now the question is, what is the total utility? I mean, the maximization of the utility, or MU, maximization of utility. In getting the maximization of the utility by product, you're going to divide marginal utility divided by its price, no? Okay, let's assume that the burger is worth 25 pesos. So, if you are given in the budget of, let's assume budget is 150. That's the budget. How will you maximize the budget worth of 150 if the burger is worth 25 pesos. So what will you do there is you're going to divide the marginal utility into you're just going to divide the marginal utility by its price, okay? So, marginal utility is 50 divided by 25, that makes it 2. Marginal utility 17 divided by, okay, let's calculate that one. So for economics, kindly prepare your scientific calculator. So for second one, 17 divided by 25, because that's the price per, so you have here 0.68. Now the other one, we have 14 divided by 25. That makes it 0.56. 0.56. And then the other one is 5 divided by 25 is 0.2. The other one, this is the same, 5 divided by 0.5 divided by 25 is 0.2. So, Mom, what are these results? 0.2, 2, 0.68, 0.56, 0.2. So, the question is, if you have, let's change the question. If you have 150 pesos, what combination will maximize your utility? How much total utility will you get? Upon answering the question, if you only have 150 pesos, how many burgers? When you say combination, it could be not just only one product. It's a combination of a burger and a juice. But in this case, we just had their burger. So in other words, if you have 150 pesos, how many burgers can you maximize with your utility? So if you have 150 pesos, 150 divided by the price of the burger, ano ba to? 150 divided by 25. So that makes it 6. So you can consume 6 burgers in all. Okay? You're just going to divide the 150 given by 25. But if it says how much total utility will you get, that's the time that you're going to divide the maximization of the utility, which is 2 plus 0.68 plus 0.56 plus 0.2 plus 0.2. So that's your answer, 3.64 utils. Okay, so that's it, children. But if we're going to combine another, okay, let's have another table here. Okay, let's assume we'll have a partner of the burger, which is the juice, no? Okay. Now, this is not the burger anymore. This is, let's assume this is a shake. Okay? Shake. And the shake costs, let's assume, 30 pesos. Okay? Since double na yung pagkain gastusin natin, let's make it 300. Okay. Now, earlier I taught you how to get the marginal utility if the total utility is given. Now, if the marginal utility is given, let's assume 89, 70, 54, 38, and 20. If the marginal utility is given, how will you get the total utility? In getting the total utility, you're just going to add it. So if 89 is the first one, so just copy 89. And then what will you add? 89 plus 70. I still have to get my calculator. Okay. So 89 plus 70. Oh my gosh, sorry. Again, 89 plus 70. So that makes it 159. 159. Then, how will you get the third one? 159 plus 54 equals 213. 213. And then, 213 plus 38. 213 plus 38. That makes it 251. Then lastly, 251 plus 20. That makes it 271. Now, that makes it correct if the total, in getting the total utility, it is increasing. And then your marginal utility is decreasing. Okay, that's the case. Now, since we got, no? OMG, for a while. Okay. Since so as you can see, we have the combination here of the burger and the shake. The burger is worth 25 pesos and the shake is 30 pesos. Now, that's the case. How will we maximize the total utility? We're just going to divide the marginal utility by the price. So, marginal utility is 89. 89 divided by 89. 89 divided by the price of the shake, which is 30. That makes it 2 point or round off 3. Okay, next 70 marginal utility divided by the price. 70 divided by 30. So 2.3. 2.34. Okay, next we have 54 divided by 3. 54 divided by 3. That makes it 18. I mean, sorry, 54 divided by 30. Sorry, 54 divided by 30. That makes it 1.8. 1.8. Next, 38 divided by 30. 38 divided by 30. 38 divided by 30 makes it 1.27. 1.27. Again. 1.27. And last is 20 divided by 30. 20 divided by 30. So that makes it 0.67. 0.67. So this is your total maximization in terms of the burger, and this one is for the shake. Now the question is, we're going to revise the question. If you have 300 pesos, what combination will maximize your utility? So what combination will maximize your utility? So let's go back to the table. Let's rank this one. So sino yung pinakamalaki? We will highlight that one. Okay? So we have 3. Highlight. 3. Next is that one. Next, so 2.34 is 2. Next is we have 1.8, 1.27, 0.68, 0.56, 0.2. Let us try. So, yun yung pinakamalaking utils Top 4 dito at top 4 na dito. Let's try to budget your 300 pesos sa 4 na burger at 4 na shake. Now, if we have 4 na burger, which is times 25, that makes it 100. At 4 na shake, so 30 times 4 makes it 120 plus 100 the burger. So you have 220. So what if bilhin natin lahat? 5 shake tsaka 5 burger. Okay? So we have 5 times 25 na wala akong calculator ko. So 5 times 25, that makes it 125. And then 30 times 5, that makes it 150 plus 125. So we got 275. Now, if 275, that's lower compared to 300, minus 300, the change for that is 0.25. We can still buy another burger, but it's not available already kasi hanggang 5 lang tayo. So what will we do here? We're going to state that we can consume 5 burgers as well as or together with 5 shakes. So that's the consumption of your 300 pesos. But if the given is 1 to 7, that's not a problem. If the given is 1 to 8, that's not a problem. Okay? How will you know? Aside from dividing 300 by the amount of the burger and shake, how will you know kung ilan talaga ang burger and shake na mabibili mo sa 300? You're going to look, no? Sabi ko kanina, hinalightan ko, diba? You're going to look at the highest. So, first I highlighted 3, and then 2.34, and then 2, then 1.8, then 1.27, and then 0.68 to 0.56. You're going to highlight the highest utility first, down to the lowest marginal utility. How did you get the maximization of utility? Divide the marginal utility by the price. Now, how much total utility will you get? When we say total utility, keywords there is util. No, when we say util, that's the measurement of how satisfied are you. So we're going to calculate. How many utils did you consume, or we have 2 plus kasi binili mo lahat, 0.68 plus 0.56 plus 0.2 plus 0.2. Okay, and then together with the utility in the shake, we have plus 3 plus 2 point, we have 3 plus 2, 2 point, oh my god, sorry. So we have 2, you're just going to add it, 2 plus 0.68 plus 0.56 plus 0.2 plus 0.2 plus 3 plus 2.34 plus 1.8 plus 1.27 plus 0.67. Okay, so that's your total utils, 12.72. 12.72. That's it, children. That's it for now.